I know spooky time is next week, but I'm getting in the mood a bit early. I mean, I've just downed like a lot of orange food coloring. Been eating nothing but carrots. I feel like I'm gonna die. So let me welcome you all to this spooky devlog time. Hopefully, if everything goes to plan, we should get an update out today. Now, this is the Halloween update. Yes, it's a bit early, but I wanted people to actually have a chance to experience the Halloween stuff before it disappears. If you don't know, in the mod, I've set it up. So starting from the 24th, we're going to have a Halloween event, which is essentially the gashapon machines going to give out exclusive items. Yeah. You look in here. Here's our loot table. And I don't have a gashapon ball in there anymore. Just give me a... We'll get onto that in a sec. But yes, we have a new Halloween gashapon ball. This can be used the exact same way the previous one could be used. The only difference is you can only obtain it during this 1 week of the run up to Halloween. Now, I do want to add a collector villager at some point, allowing you to obtain it after the Halloween event, so it's obtainable all year round. But yeah, starting from the 24th, if you click the gashapon machine with an emerald, you'll get a Halloween one instead of a regular gashapon ball. As well as I said, anything you would use the gashapon ball for crafting, I think it's only one recipe, and I've edited it so you can use either the Halloween or the normal one. It's up to you. Now, what's so special about the Halloween one? As I said, we've got Halloween items. Yay! Now, I did move the clear version of the arrow over. This kind of seemed relevant, as throughout Geats we were calling this the Buckle of Death, because it seemed everyone who used it ended up dying, as well as it is the clear one, so it's like a ghost. That works for us, right? We've got the Halloween Gochizo, the Billy Bidu or whatever, the Ghost Ride Watch, which is actually based on ghosts, not Kamen Rider Ghost. It was weird. It wasn't obtainable prior. Now it is. As well as we have the Zets sweets, cats them, because trick-or-treating sweets, it just made sense. And 2 new exclusive blocks. You might have seen one. Actually, to be honest, I'm going to put the cursed item in there because I've already got one on my head. I've been looking for an excuse to incorporate Master Rider into the mod somewhere. This just seemed fitting. Yes, you could put it on your head, but you can also place it places. We put that there and that there. And let me just put this back in here so I don't lose it. So we have the Furbis head, and we have a Punk Jack-o'-lantern. Sorry, I thought that pun was just too funny not to make. And if anyone's complaining about the Furbis, you could just do this with it. I've had so many people say, why have you brought that abomination into this? I had to. It was funny. So yes, that's the first 2 things. Now, these 2 things are also going to have an additional feature that starts tomorrow. I don't want to spoil that. I think it's going to be hilarious. I can't wait to see people respond to what I've coded these 2 things to do. All I'm going to say is I'm sorry. But you might be looking at this Punk Jack-o'-lantern and going, you made that 3D, why didn't you make other things 3D? I did. Punk Jack now has a 3D head, along with Dapan and Shiro. They're all 3D and nice, and yay. I was planning on doing the same thing with Buffer, but I just never got around to it. Jack even has a cape now. So nice. I absolutely love the way these turned out. As I said, I did plan on doing Buffer, both the horns, and give Zombie the hand. I just ran out of time. Will you forgive me? There's going to be at least one person saying, no, I don't forgive you. Now you've got to do it. Sad slime. Either way, moving on. Well, thanks to Andrew, we have the Shocker outfit. Yeah, let me just grab it. Helmet, belt. This was going to be something I was going to add to the next update, but it's made its way into this one, and I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. What do you think? What do you think? Okay, last time round, I showed you Igor. Well, Igor's now got a new form as well. Let me just, let me drop that so I don't lose it, because it's hilarious. You can never have enough terrors. You know what? I'm going to leave it in my offhand, just so it's on the bottom of the screen there. Just down, just over there. Do you see it? It's just over there. I'm going to leave it there just to traumatize people for the rest of this video. But yes, I finally got round to adding one of Igor's forms. Actually, I technically finished 2 forms. Did mention the one last week, but it wasn't finished. If I just equip all this. Let's first go Grim. Yeah, it's just the normal texture. It's just I had to remove something off the face. But yeah, that works now. Little Furbis. Little Furbis in my hand. And then we got Knife. This looks cool. Yes, technically it should have like this massive backpack thing, as well as arm attachments, but I simplified it a bit just to make it a bit easier, because I kind of didn't want to go too complicated for a form that probably nobody would care about. But I gotta admit, this looks kind of cool. So, what else have I done? Well, I think I'm gonna have to go to my other world to show you this one. Okay. As you can see, we have Necroms here. And I have Deep Spectre on me. Now, if I take on a Necrom, I showed off how to get Necrom last time round. Yeah, Necrom now becomes Yujo Burst if you've got Deep Spectre on you. I technically should have coded it, so if you are Deep Spectre, but I decided just to have it so if you have Deep Spectre on you, just because I think it was a bit easier. Well, not easier to code. I think it'll be just a bit easier for the player, because I kind of increased this thing's health, armor, and attack and everything, as well as heal. It heals when you put it into Yujo Burst, and it can fire stuff with that. Yeah, this isn't going to be an easy fight, but if you manage to win this fight, come on. Oh, it's spotted the iron golems. You can see it drops the Yujo Burst. Yay! That wasn't what I actually came into this world to show you, but I did. Yay! We also added the Dark Necroms as well as the Dark Ghost boss fight. They do spawn in the end. I actually haven't tested that, but I'll trust Axos on this one. I'm not going to go into all the boss fights and all that, because there is quite a bit added. So yeah, the Ghost is now done anyway. If anyone's wondering, everything that was obtainable is now obtainable in Ghost, as well as a few things that were previously unobtainable. Now back onto the thing I was going to show you. This is Kamen Rider Arc, a vampire ridery thing that's powered by the moon. So what do you think would happen if we took The rider that's powered by the moon. To the moon. Legend Arc is now obtainable. And if you return back to the overworld, you keep the form. This was in the mod prior. It wasn't obtainable before. I wanted to add it because it's fun. Actually, whilst we're talking about the moon, there's a new structure-y kind of thing added to the moon. Now, I'm going to have to fly around to find one of these, aren't I? Actually, that might actually be one. Let's see if I can find one that's a bit easier to see. There we go. Now you can kind of see what this is, what's going on. This is the kind of imprint Kiva leaves on the moon when he does the rider kick. And there's an ore here. This is actually the first time I've seen this ore. That's an arc boss block. So I take it this is how you get arc. Now it would make sense that you go to the moon for arc. This is what happens when you have a team doing stuff and you don't keep track of what everyone else is doing. We got an arc boss block. Yay! We do plan on reworking Kiva at some point. There's a few other things been added. Actually, let's go back here and see if I can locate one. So this is a Kiva structure. Because bats, Halloween, everything this update we tried to base on something scary or spooky or Halloweeny. And I can't get in the door. You let me? Yeah. This is my first time actually looking in the loot in here. What we got? Blank for whistles. Don't know if there's anything in the pot either. Okay. Nope. There's no button on those doors. How do I get out? But yes, this isn't Castle Durand. This is one of the... This is the smaller dragon. I can't remember the name of it. I'm going to put a picture here. And as I said, it is our goal to rework Kiva over the next update or two. I mean, at this point, there's only 3 riders that need reworking, in my opinion, before we start reworking. And these 3 are Blade, Kiva, and Ryuki. You might be wondering, what about Hibiki? Hibiki has been worked on. Yes, this update, Chair has completely remade Hibiki. Now, I have not gone through and tested everything yet, but it has been completely remade. There's new mobs, new fights, new loot, new everything. So yeah, if you like Hibiki, Hibiki's been redone. So I think I'm going to pretty much wrap this up here. As I said, this is the Halloween update. And it's been a lot of fun working on this. I always enjoy Halloween. It's one of those holidays where you can kind of just enjoy stuff. It's one of the very few holidays that I can be like little kid again and go like, spooky skeletons. Oh. The kind of joy of Halloween kind of has never left me. But either way, I've enjoyed this. Let me know what you think of this update, as well as, is there anything you want in the next update? Yes, we have already started planning the next one. And the funny thing is, next week, which is going to be actually closer to Halloween, I'm going to be talking about an update which has nothing to do with Halloween. Yay. So, if you've enjoyed this for even a split second, please do consider hitting the like button and subscribing if you're not already. Any and all support is so greatly appreciated, so till next time. Goodbye. Why am I orange?